I'm Kasasagi Usagi, and I am here with more Final Fantasy XIV. We are going to do the first part of the Crystal Tower today, but first, our ninja saga. We're technically rogues. Alright. Jacques' rogues have new information on the final missing treasure. I was wondering when you'd show up, Akali, but bugger me if you don't look ready to mill an entire crew of sods by yourself. And bene that you are, 'cause we finally uncovered some hard facts about the last treasure. Won't be long now afore we clay the win in peace and put the staff challenge to bed. Alright, I've gathered out the other clothes for a meeting, so let's get down to it. At long bloody last, the black sarcophagus has given up its secrets. Underfoot, you've got some news for us? Aye, Jacques. I think half our troubles in finding the truth of it lay calling this thing a nasty thing of treasure. The black sarcophagus ain't no Dimble Balmer. It's the Markley Magitech mine, a bleeding prototype explosive that was bitten from an Imperial transport vessel. And even though it ain't that big, maybe the size of a small cargo box, they say the blast will have enough kick to incinerate a bloody behemoth. Seems the Garleans meant to start producing at their factory in La Nocia, then distribute them mines through Castra Marinium. Lucky some plucky privateer coiled the prototype en route then, eh? And an experimental weapon. That explains that the Thalassocree was so bleeding eager to bid in that auction and so reluctant to share the details with us. At least we know the what, but there's still the question of the where. The curse delivering their bitten goods to the reformers, that much is certain. What happened to the sarcophagus after that, though, we ain't so sure. There've been no reports of huge explosions or the like, so either the executioners still have the mine, or they're peddling it to some other buyer. The reformers faction came together out of the shared hatred for the Admiral and her ways. I'm guessing they don't cloy with the bomb just to sell it. What is it, Lonnie? A letter for you, Jock. Says it's urgent. A letter? Who's it from? The old man. I found out while I was sorting through our daily deliveries. Let's see now. Come to Thalos. I have urgent news. I've never known the old man to summon a customer. No one's seen him in his usual haunts for a while, so do you reckon he's run some morsel he's dug up just for us? Aye, it could be. Akali, you and me are heading to Thalos. Underfoot, Vicade, you're to take another stab at pinning down the location of the sarcophagus. So this is the last rogue quest, and I'm so glad it is. So I don't have to talk with their dialects anymore. I don't have to stumble through this nonsense. Oh. Level 34. It might be a bit too. That might be biting off a bit more than I can chew. It's tempting though. is he dead? No, I'm eating. I was like, holy shit. You're wasting your time, Gargle. We opened that Scrag's wrinkled throat bells ago. Oh shit, he is dead. You cross the bloody executioners and you get what's coming to you. Did you like our message? We weren't sure you'd fall for it, but a little mystery goes a long way, eh? Now don't be like that, darling. Me and me mates don't have much choice when the boss says go play with the rogues, then we gotta go play with the rogues. After all, we've never asked you to come run into ruin our game now, did we? And we don't and don't give me no long-winded speech about your precious code. The reformist vision stretches far beyond what them tired old rules is good for. Once Captain Abishar takes command of the executioners, he'll give us back our teeth we lost when we submitted to the Admiral's leash. We'll be the terrors of the sea once more, free to rove and plunder with a new age of pirate glory. And I'll bathe in blood to see that age come to pass. Like, she said she was gonna kick my ass. Like hell's you will. The only sentence, what's being passed today is yours. Hello there, darling. Ain't you a fine-looking lad? I've heard all this prattle afore. Free to pillage and plunder, is it? Aye, it all sounds grand, but you don't think of the price. That shite stinking code is the only thing that keeps you bloody coves from milling one another. Without it, without Limsa Lominsa to call home, you'd be adrift in the ocean of quarrons. But if you're so keen to company the dead, I'd be sudden happy to oblige. You was prettier with your gob shut, but I can see I'm out of me depth here. As much as I'd like to lop off your noggins, I'll have to be satisfied with dragging the two of ye out into the wilds. Kept you well out of the way, haven't I? Out with it, then. Ain't it obvious you stubborn scrags is looking to swipe our new toy, and it was my job to stall ye. The captain, as the mind with I'm right now, is set to show the rest of the executioners that he's got the stones to sit in the leader's chair. And what better way to do that than executing the bitch that snapped the chains on our crew? He's targeting the Admiral himself? You're planning up to blow up the whole command room, ain't you? Aye. You've had me permission to panic. Of course, if you'd rather steer clear of the city, I'd be glad to keep you company right here, sweet meat. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Think you can stop Captain Ashybear? If you sprout yourself some wings, then you might still make it. We've got this mad Mort at our mercy, but she seems to be enjoying herself. Better drag her back to the guild and see what other information she'll spill. I'll need you back in Limsa as well, but you've business at the foremast first. You should find Captain Malia at her post there. Forget about the sodden challenge and tell her everything we know. Unless me judgment's well off kilter, she'll do what needs to be done. I need to... I always forget to turn the music up. Lightning! Lightning! I know there's a bomb in Limsa Lominsa and everything, but lightning is absolutely jamming right now. The song is very familiar, but I don't know what it is. I thought he was a minion. I thought it was two Chunguses hanging out together. going to the right place? It does not seem to be. At the foremast. Where is the foremast? Oh, not here. Not actually in Limsa Lominsa. How foolish of me. How very silly. That's okay. Limsa is super pretty though. But this does make sense. It's technically connected to Limsa. Hello. She's a huge bitch, but she is absolutely adorable. She's still wearing the earrings. Oh, you're one of Jacques' rogues. You've come to steal the sorrows, have you? Well, you shan't have them. As you can see, they're safely clasped upon my very own. You're not here for the earrings? The Admiral, you say? And you are sure these fiends are in possession of the sarcophagus? I must deploy more sentries at once. Do not think this voids our challenge, rogue, and you can relay as much to your impudent guildmaster. I suppose you can thank him for the warning as well. I think now I go to Limsa. Yeah. I wish I could just walk in from that door. That would be most convenient. Oh, my bad. So the jackets are on the move? Bene, I've been listening to that idle pirate cackle since I got her back to the sisters, but she's given us not what we didn't already know. And we know more than enough. I say we rally the rogues and go after that mine before it blows up our muns. You'll need all the edge you can get for what's to come. So let's introduce you to a new trick. This one's called Shadowfang. Do it right, you'll let your opponent start to wither before you. Even the toughest swads will be wondering why their knees are trembling halfway through the fight. I tell you it's best to sink the fangs in early, but I'm sure a clever lass like you will figure that out. Yay, it's my dot. Even ninjas have a dot. I'll put that over here because I don't believe it's on a... Yeah. It's not part of my, it's not a GCD. Jacques needs you to join his rogues in the effort to reclaim the Black Sarcophagus. If the leader of the Reformists is Captain Ashbeer, who's planning on milling the Admiral with a bang, then my guess is he's aiming to demolish the entire command room. You know the Mesmen, aye? The tower that holds the drowning wench in Bulwark Hall? The Admiral Bridge and her command room are right at the top of it. Then you've got the district that surrounds Mesmen. That's the busy beating heart of the city. Even the threat of an attack, you can't just seal it up in the blink of an eye. Call the whole thing Bob. Try to explain the danger that culls that live and work in there, and they'd have a frightened, stamping mob on your fambles. Nay, lass, our only option is to have our eyes search on every approach to the tower. I'd put the wit out to as many covs as I can, and spread them throughout the streets. Your job will be to cover the aft castle, and wait and see... and just wait and see, Cully. We'll get this Ashbeer and his little bomb, too. I'm reading so incredibly poorly. What level are my daggers? I'm 15. I should probably put on these level 22 daggers then. Cass is just exceptionally broken today. Let me see if I can fix her really quick. That should be a little bit better. Dun, dun, dun. Ugh, the fog picked a grand night to roll in thick. This'll make things interesting. Our presence on the streets is far too thin. Where are the reinforcements I ordered? My apologies, Captain. There just aren't any more soldiers to spare. The bulk of our forces has already been assigned to guard not only the Admiral, but a number of the other high-ranking personnel as well. Unacceptable! What could Commodore Raynor be thinking? There are dangerous criminals stalking the city as we speak. Call in squads from the outpost if you must, but I want to see our security tightened and the populace properly protected. But Captain, we can't be certain the pirates' plan hasn't changed. If we consider the possibility that they've switched to tow a target outside of the walls, it would be a folly to weaken those defenses. Huh! You've made your point, Sergeant. Return to your post. Has he? They're clearly trying to kill the Admiral. Once all is lost, it is far too late to question what one should have done. You seem troubled, sir. Perhaps I can be of I've been dying to meet you, lass. Aye, keen to set those on bold Yellow Belly would cost our crew a fortune in Uldar coin. You're an executioner, one of Ashbear's men. You've strayed too far into a world you don't understand, lass. Your eyes is fixed on the light of justice, leaving ye blind to the chasm opening up at your feet. At least they'll say he died with your boots on. It was like toddlers fighting. Look at this. Look at this little man. The Yellow Belly won't be bothering us no more, Captain. As for the mine, the lads will have it primed in front of the wench by the time you get there. Good. Not long afore we drag that bitch Admiral, her pretty tower, and all her sampering curs down to the bottom of the sea. Then I'll raise our flag on the ruins of the Mesmenet, and lead our brethren to a return to the old ways of pirate and plunder. Should've not had that last battle. Botlish, the wife is gonna kill me. Eh? What's that then? Not after the command room. They mean to bring down the entire tower. If the Mesmet falls, the bridges will follow. Half the city will... Please, you must help me. The danger far greater than we... Bloody hells, is she alive? Oh, no, I didn't see nothing. Didn't see nothing. Please, you must send word. Someone must be told. How did you... Your valiant and forthright weapon. You could hear the single pistol shot from miles away. Weren't hard to guess what happened. I poked the yellow jackets on my way over. A healer will be along shortly. Bene, that means we've only one last thing to do. We've never been allies, but I beg of you. You must stop them. Save the city. Ah, lass, you know you needn't ask. Taking down mad coves and biting back what was bitten is our job. You all set then? Ready, Jacques? Always. Then let's go cloy that sarcophagus and fight Ashman for our new coffin. Oh, beans. Why am I being shot? Oh, I guess I'm leaving you behind. Goodbye. No, this isn't the right way. Never mind. Just kidding. Oh, fuck. Oh, I guess we're fighting. Alright. trying to flash me. That skull doesn't exist anymore. Okay, one detonator. Oh, that looks like a detonator. Yeah? 90 seconds. I'm gonna hope it's down here. Oh, good. No! That was super rude, by the way. He homing aimed me, and then did a huge attack that I could not get out of. Rogues do look cool, though. Status report. The mine has been disabled, and the engineer should soon have it safely removed. Our soldiers sustained some injuries in the battle with the reformists, but none were fatal. Also, the Admiral sends her sincerest gratitude. Huh. Look, there she is! That's Captain Malia, the hero of Limsa Lominsa. Are you recovered from your wound, Captain? We heard how you very nearly lost your life stopping that horde of pirates from blowing up the mizzenmast. 3 cheers for the Yellow Jackets, our study to be lost without ye. Oh, but wait, that's not how it... Sergeant, what of the rogues? Did they survive the battle? I don't rightly know, Captain. All we found near the sarcophagus were reformists, either dead or strung from the rafters. Alive, then. 'Twould seem we are deeply in their debt. Ah, Captain, might I have the silver sorrows from you now? We've been ordered to hand them over to the Commodore, along with the black sarcophagus. Why, of course, they're right The earrings! I could have sworn I was still... He wouldn't have. He stole them from me while I lay dying? That cad, I knew he could not be trusted. Keep an eye on them, indeed. I should have known. Are you sure about this, Jock? We could have cloyed the sarcophagus as well. I think she's earned it, don't you? If it bothers you that much, think of it as a trade. If you ask me, they look a bit daft. Well, I didn't ask ye. So the jackets ended up with the mine, and we got the diamond and the earrings, which means victory belongs to the Rogues Guild. Do you think Malia will leave it at that? I get the feeling we ain't done with her yet. I'd say we're doing... Oh my god, my neighbor's on his motorcycle, and it's the loudest fucking thing in the world. It's all day long. He's just revving up and down the street. I know, I hope no one can hear it, but my mic says otherwise. So, I'm sorry. I'd say we're done with her challenge, but you never know when our paths will cross again. We'll just have to see what Limsa Underbelly spits up next. Aye, this city ain't ever quiet for long. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Akali. If I ever need a trusty pair of stabbers by my side, I know who to ask. I'm off as well. Bloody starving I am. Don't forget to scaffle a bite when you can, eh, Akali? We'd best head back to the sisters, too, before the shrew decides she'd rather hear us cry cockles. Men at work, Akali. Be seeing you soon. That's very silly. Oh there, Akali. It'll be nice to finally have a bit of a rest, eh? The job never ends, but even a dimmer-dammer like myself needs to breathe every now and again. And your venturing mates must be wondering where you got to. That was a proper long excitement, but I'm glad you decided to see it through. You've proven to be a stalwart protector of the code, even if this ain't truly your world. When you walk back into the Lightlands, you'll have to find your own code to uphold. But when you do, you'll have the skills you learned in the shadows to help you defend it. Well, that's more than enough prattle out of me. Your travels might take you far and wide, Akali, but you never know. But know you're always welcome here in the Sisters. I think my boots are newish. 24, 15, 25. Okay, I need new glovies. Oh, I look very cute. Jock has just the job for a dimber mort like yourself. Ah, Kali, keeping your stabbing sharpened, I hope? 'Cause I got a job to be done, and I reckon the dimber damber that put the executioners on the chopping block is just the one to do the doing. My men have sighted some shifty types around Wineport of late. Not code-broken curs so far as I know, and that's the rub. We don't know half as much about them as I'd like. They claim to be simple peasants, refugees from some far-flung realm, but I don't know many peasants what shulk in the dark dams as much as they've been doing. So long as they're not breaking the code, they can do as they please, but being who we are, it falls on us to look into the matter and make sure that's all bob. As me gut tells me, this may be a two-road job. I've set Underfoot on ahead, so pull on your best speeder cases, head to Wineport, and meet him there. Wineport it is. Akali, when Jockey said he'd be sending one of his guild's canniest morts along after me, I had a feeling it might be you. Now, I'd love to tell you old Underfoot's already whittled the whole scrap on our friends, but truth is I've turned up more questions than answers. They claim to hail from the South Seas, but me little birds at Malvan's gate swear to the last man that some piss-poor mummery there's no record of any such ship sailing into port. Looks like it falls to you and me to take a closer smilch, I hope you brought your sharpest stabbers, as there's no telling who where. Did you hear that, lass? Either old Underfoot's gone daft or some mort just screamed out for dear life. Something tells me our little task is about to take a turn for the interesting. What say we go see what's what? A queer maid. Did you do this? Have mercy, I am but a simple milkmaid, with not a single gill to my name. Rest easy, lass. My friend and I don't mean you no harm, though I must say you've got me curious. Just what in the name of the 12 happened here? I had just come to town to purchase some supplies. No sooner had I walked through the gates than I was suddenly accosted by 3 burly drunkards who demanded that I hand over my possessions. To my good fortune, it seems the men had partaken a bit too heavily. When they saw the meager contents of my coin purse, they began to squabble amongst themselves. A fight ensued, and before I knew it, the 3 men were lying on the ground, as you see them now. Sounds like Nemeus smiled on you today, lass, though I might suggest you be a bit more careful on your next visit. All manner of scurvy sorts frequent these parts, and you'll find that all of them are blundering lackwits like your friends here. Thank you for your concern, good sir, and rest assured that I will take your words to heart. Good day to the both of you. Well, Kali, how'd that girl's wid strike ye? Mummery, I say. You too? I was thinking the very same. Squawked on amongst themselves. Just look, there's barely a scratch on any of these louts. Aye, I'd wager there's more to the rum doxy than she's letting on. Come, let's go on the drag and see what she might be hiding. Alright, I will kill this thing. And a right mess we've got here. You reckon these coves got on the wrong side of our lass? One thing's for sure, there's no They're no more peasants than you and I. One look at those stabbers tells me as much. I have failed. I beg of you, take this and return it to Master Oboro, to Lady Tsubame. It's too late. The poor sod's dead. As for the stone, your guess is as good as mine. A lucky charm of sorts, mayhap. Any road, we best start moving. Our dew beaters afore the last gets away. Her footprints lead in the direction of Upper Lanosia. Oh, Upper Lanosia. Oh, it's so foggy and spooky. Nobody in this game can mind their business. Didn't have to be this way. Ma'am, did you do more murder? She hides behind a tree, as if that could hide her from me. Oh, I need a different voice for this, man. She didn't really think she could fool me with those silly rags, did she? Or did she? Perhaps she's not as clever as we believed. And a mysterious savior rushes to the damsel's defense. Such bravery, such compassion. Such folly. Little does she know that this girl is more than capable of taking care of herself. And right on cue, Oboro, the dim, leaps onto the scene to save his dear little swallow in the most unsurprising surprise attack this realm has ever seen. Cease your ramblings, Karasu, before I rip that tongue from your bloody beak. Oh, our hero is wounded. A stab through the heart. His childhood friend stays before him, blades drawn and hate in their eyes. Oh, the tragedy of all! The audience sobs. And what's this? A couple of bit players who have forgotten to leave the stage. Did no one tell them that their part in this play is long since over? Oh, the faceless rogue shows surprising skill. Perhaps she yet has a role to play. I will say this much. Unlike a certain someone, at least you intrigue me. But other matters demand our hero's attention, and so the first act must draw to a close. Come, my pet. Wait, Karasu! Ever quick to retreat, that one. The two from Winefort. Did you follow me here? Beg pardon, miss. My friend and I are here on behalf of the dutiful sisters, and you, sister, have some questions to answer. I've lived on the underbelly of society long enough to recognize when a man's more than he seems, so make this easy for us, lass. Just who are you exactly? And what are you doing here? And here's hoping for both your sakes that it doesn't involve breaking no code. So you're the rogues of whom I've heard so much about. Forgive me, we were remiss in not seeking you out sooner. Very well. You shall know all that there is to know. My name is Oboro, and she is Tsubame. Tsubame? Tsubame. We hail from a village in Doma, several thousand malms across the sea. We are... but perhaps you have no word for what we are. In our own tongue, one might call us shinobi. Doma? The imperial province? The same, though it did not have to be so. Our countrymen fought with honor against the might of Garlemald. What we lacked in number we made up for with martial powers. It was a battle we could have won, had we not been betrayed by one of our own. Our every secret, our every move, known to our foe. The tide of battle turned on the morrow, thousands of our countrymen were slaughtered, and at day's end no one remained under the imperial yoke. The treacherous Kerr joined the imperial ranks as chief of their covert operatives, or so they say. That is the man you just met, Karasu, though I am loath to call him a man. To this day he whispers in the ears of the Garleans, making a mockery of those who once called him friend and brother. But no longer. We have come to Eorzea at our village elder's behest to see that Karasu pays for his crimes. With his life. Come to Oh! A raid! Thank you so much! Oh, that is such a cute little icon! Hello, hello! Hello, everyone! Hoi hoi! Ahoy hoi! Hello, hello. What were you guys just playing? Where have you hailed from? Art! Doing the arts. Well, I am just playing some Final Fantasy XIV. I am doing the start of my ninja quest, and then I will be popping over to do the very beginning of the Crystal Tower arc. Just the beginning, though. Come to mill a treacherous rook who blew the garb on his comrades. You sound like the right Bene Code. Consider all underfoot impressed. Forgive me. This land and its tongue are still new to us. Nonetheless, we were able to lure Karasu here, but more than a few of our comrades gave their lives in the effort. And now this. Was their sacrifice for naught? You have my gratitude. When one of our kind falls, tradition dictates that we return their soul to the village, that we may rest with our ancestors. They are... What? Our fallen brother's soul calls out to this woman. Could it be a sign? Are we fated to fight as one? I would make you an offer. We will instruct you in our art, the art of ninjutsu. In return, you will share with us your knowledge of this land, that it might serve us in our mission. But Orboros, she is not Doman. She is not of the village. Look around you, Subume. Our brothers and sisters are fallen or gravely wounded, and today's failure makes it all too clear. We cannot hope to stand against Karasu without knowledge of the lay of the land. Can't say I'm thrilled at the prospect of losing a dimmer damper like yourself, but hells, in my younger days, I'd have been keen to try my fams on some of those techniques myself. And the more my waddles take in, the more those two strike me as Benir and Beaner folks. If you're keen to lend them your daddles, I'll not be one to stand in your way. If you would know more, come to the dock storehouse at Raincutter Galley. We shall await you there. Who'd have figured, eh? Any road. The choice is yours, Akali. In the meantime, I'm going to head back to Limestone and report to Jacques before he comes and gives me a good clout in the knob. Excuse me, everyone. The best part is that I don't have to say, like, all those words that the rogues were saying. Waddles and fabbers, stabbers and fambles. I can talk like a normal person at long last. I'm so glad. Hello. Tradition forbids us from sharing our art with those from outside the village. Yet watching you hold your own against Karasu today, I cannot deny your potential. And so we meet again. Am I to take your presence to mean that you have chosen to accept our offer? Yes. Thank you. I speak not only for myself and Spellmate, but for our entire village when I say that you have our profound gratitude. What I would tell you next, I would tell you out of the earshot of strangers. Byakubu has been instructed to let only our trusted visitors through the doors behind me. When he speaks to you, Ayame, you are to answer, Kaede. Kaede? I don't know Japanese. You need not know what the words mean, only that they will grant your entrance. Ayame. This one. Enter. Look at this fancy cat girl. Oh, she's got the new hair. Give it to me. Welcome, Akali. You stand within the provisional base of operations that have been established in your land of Eorzea. It may not look like much, either without or within, but this is precisely the point. We find it an ideal vantage point from which to observe the comings and goings of Karasu and his men without attracting undue attention to ourselves. My fallen brother saw you as a worthy inheritor to his soul. To honor his memory, I entrusted to you. But the soul alone will not make you a shinobi. No, this will require training of the body and mind. Our art, the art of ninjutsu, originated with our ancestors many years ago. Since then, it has been passed down with the teaching of each generation, mother to daughter, father to son. We draw power from the world around us, the heaven, the earth, and the hearts of man, and channel the power into physical form. I am told that this is similar to your concept of aether, was it? I must confess, the Eorzean words and ways remain unfamiliar to me. How does one channel this power, you ask? Through the use of mudra, hand gestures that call forth each of the three forms of energy of which I spoke. The first mudra I will teach you will call power from the heavens. In Doma, we call this Ten. You are eager to learn, yes? Attune your soul to that of my fallen brother, then approach me once more. It is then that your training will begin. Thank you so much for the follow! So I play Final Fantasy. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. So I play Final Fantasy on Saturday and Sunday, starting at 5 p.m. and I usually go for about 3 hours. I am trying to. So the new expansion, Endwalker, comes out this fall or winter. The date is undecided. So we're trying to scoot our way through to that. Yeah, the new expansion. So we're gonna try and make it there, and then oh, for sure. I have definitely been dilly-dallying up. Ooh, excuse me. But if things get if things are looking close, I will just I will switch Final Fantasy to one of my main days, and we'll go until we make it to the end. So I need to put on my rock. Thank you. So I'm not too worried. And I am familiar with the series. So yes. I'm familiar with the series, so I will. I've been doing things in the order of which they. Thank you. Of which they happen via patches. So I did the first 4 coils, and then I did patch 2.1. And so now I'm going to do the first part of the Crystal Tower, and then I will do patch 2.2. All while trying to, I know getting Ninja up to 50 would be nice before patch 2.3, and getting Dragoon up to 50 before patch 2.4 is important. So I am trying to do things as lore compliant as possible so we get all those goodies and stories. So Oboro would give you your first lesson in the Art of Ninjutsu. Yes, I can sense it. Though you are not of our blood, the soul of my people is still strong in you. You are one of us now, a shinobi. And yet, your training has only just begun. Heed my words well, Akali, for the shinobi blade and mind are one. The weak mind gives rise to a weak blade. The false mind gives rise to a false blade. But the mind that is strong and true, that blade will know no equal. Such were the teachings of my master, and his master's master before him. The shinobi must keep presence of mind at all times, or his blade may as well be one of grass. That is the lesson of the mind. Now we shall begin the lesson of the body. You will recall that the art of ninjutsu involves using hand gestures called mudra to summon the energies of heaven, earth, and man, ten, chi, and jin in the Doman tongue. Mudra techniques can be unleashed depending on the mudra you combine with the order and the order in which you do so, but perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself. A child must learn to walk before he can run. To begin, I would see you master the first mudra, 10, the mudra of heaven. Summon the energy of heaven and project it forth, and from your hand will fly a flaming star, or Fuma Shikrin. Oh, of course! Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for the follow. I appreciate it so very, very much. Have a good sleep. Or no, and then you have work. I got a good sleep and then a good work. Outside of the storehouse, you will find a mochikan, a wooden man of the sort traditionally used in Doma for training. But as I have told you, ma'am, I was talking to this man. Ma'am? Do as I have told you and strike it with a Fumin Shurikrin. I will observe your technique from a distance. You brought your chocobo in here? Oh, so late. Well, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely evening. I will actually, before things get to, I am going to give you a follow as well, because I would love to see this art. Oh, it's really cute. Oh, it's adorable. There we go. Oh, of course. Absolutely, you guys. Oh no, my bars are all messed up. Final Fantasy. How could you do this to me? Oh my god. Put that there. I think Mug was here. I think my little dagger was like here. Hide was here. No, Trick Attack was definitely there. Mudras go up there. And then my limit break. There we go. Oh, I think I've... Oh, I see. I've done it. Yes, that will do, Akali. Clearly we did not misjudge your potential. Perhaps you've also felt your body becoming lighter. This is but another benefit of your training. You may find yourself able to dance through the air with your blades drawn, but be mindful, the true shinobi sees no movement is wasted. You demonstrated your skills well enough against the wooden man, but wood does not strike back. Your next opponent will not be so docile. Prepare yourself. You gonna fight me, Oboro? Are we scrapping? Oh, I understand what's happening here. Oh, I beat his ass. Absolutely obliterated. I see. What Oboro means to say is that he has not seen anyone master the fundamentals of ninjutsu with such swiftness. Is that not so, Oboro? I am capable of speaking for myself, Tsubame, but it is true. Akali has exceeded even my own expectations. Her blade slices through the air as a fish glides through water. But that is enough training for the day. Now it is my turn to be the student, and you, the teacher. I would learn the ways of Eorzea. You will instruct me, yes? You have my gratitude, Akali. First, I would know better the terrain of Is something amusing? My bow. I see. Who would have thought that a simple gesture of courtesy would be so complicated? Like this, is it? Forgive him. Oboro has not been quite himself since coming to these shores. It would seem neither the food nor the climate agrees with him. And let us not forget the stink of those infernal horse birds. All the more reason for us to complete our mission swiftly and return to more hospitable environs. Anyhow, Akali, that should suffice for the day. Practice well your ninjutsu and return when you are ready for the next lesson. It would seem you have some practicing to do as well. So, the best part of being a ninja is first, Naruto run. Absolutely fantastic. Second, yes. Can't do this on any other class. This is why. This is all that matters. Somersaulting through the air. Okay. So that's that. Now let's go. Let's go do some Crystal Tower. This outlandish man. Hello, sir. An oddly garbed man visiting Reverend's Toll has some information which might be of interest to an experienced adventurer. Do I know you? Unless I am very much mistaken, you are the famed adventurer who bested the Garlean Empire's general, are you not? The great Akali Yana herself. Amazing! And more than a little serendipitous, one might even call it fate. I but recently received word of a truly unique opportunity, you see. An opportunity the like of which none but one of your proven worth can take advantage. The reward? Not less than the accumulated knowledge of a fallen civilization. The risk? A single misstep could cost you your life, but what is a little danger to a storied hero such as you? A woman with absolute confidence in her ability stands to profit handsomely from this venture. No, no! I crave no recompense for my part in bringing this opportunity to your attention. The historic discoveries you shall make will be reward enough, I assure you. If my words have fanned the flames of your curiosity, then I bid you seek a man by the name of Rambaris at St. Konak's find. It is he who stands at the doorway to untold marvels, awaiting arrival of champion bold enough to march across the threshold. Mm-hmm. Oh, my bars aren't locked. Bum, bum, bum. Why, if it isn't Akali Yana herself, I was not expecting such a celebrated guest. To what do I owe the honor of this visit? You were directed here, you say, by a man clad in foreign garb? Well, the opportunity he spoke of must surely refer to our latest anthropomorphical geographical endeavor. Quite how he came to know of it is another matter. All knowledge of this project was supposed to be restricted to my organization. But there is something for me to ponder in private. You are here now, and your services will, I am certain, prove invaluable. I must warn you, however, that the venture we have in mind is no simple excavation. An unprepared or incautious adventurer could well find herself on an unplanned and unpleasant journey to Thal's solemn halls. Knowing this, do you still wish to lend us your cooperation? I rather thought you would say that. Your courage is scarcely a secret. Now, the first. Akali! I thought it was you. What brings you to St. Konix? Don't tell me. The Alliance has sent you on another realm-shaking, history-making mission to lay low an apparently insuperable foe, yes? No? Ah, I see. You two are already acquainted. That is well, Master Garland. Our intrepid hero here caught wind of the forthcoming expedition and has kindly pledged to assist us. She has she? Glad to have you aboard, Akali. You don't have the faintest idea of what you're volunteered for, do you? Very well. Let us start at the beginning. The Sons of St. Konik are tasked with unearthing secrets for the long-fallen Alagon Empire, and this present endeavor aims to delve more deeply into a civilization's mysteries than ever before. But I know that look. In the event that you feel ill-equipped to contribute much to the subject of Alagon archaeology, I invite you to recall your encounter with the Ultima weapon. That mechanical monstrosity represented a feat of engineering far beyond aught Garlemald can presently achieve. Nero Tolskavia simply awoke it. I mention this by way of reminder that you have had what one might term extensive first-hand experience with a notable Alagon relic. In short, you're practically an archaeologist. Now, to the core of the matter. Here in Mordona, there stands an entire Alagon structure, which we have yet to investigate. I speak, of course, of the Crystal Tower. Hi. How are you today? After witnessing the destructive capabilities of the Ultima weapon and the Lesser Moon Dalaman before it seems wise to treat any remnants from that era with the utmost caution. They must be analyzed, monitored, and above all, kept from falling into the wrong hands. To put it plain, I have no wish to see another megalomaniacal legatus wield one of these weapons. It was with this thought which first moved me to contact the Sons and propose that the tower be explored. For several millennia, the Crystal Tower remained hidden, buried deep underground, but like so many other things that were better left undisturbed, the structure was freed from its stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Area. It now stands reveled in all its splendor, a gleaming spear of crystal pointed at the bosom of the heavens. I'm quite well. I had a very long sleep, and I feel refreshed. I had the equivalent of like an Odin sleep. Long sleep. We believe the tower to be the repository of much of the ancients' wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by formidable defenses, and we cannot so much as peep through the keyhole, much less set foot inside. These defenses take the form of statues, carved into the likeness of giant swordsmen. The 8 sentinels, as the Suns are wont to call them, is the first barrier we must overcome. Why not simply fly over them? In an airship, you ask? It's been tried before. Any vessel that ventures too close to the tower is blasted out of the air. We either destroy those statues, or the front door is forever beyond our reach. You can start at any Final Fantasy series. Yeah, you can start with any. They're not connected. Like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, they're their own separate games and adventures. The difference being that, like, Final Fantasy 7 and 13 and 10, and I think even 12 have continuations, but they will be called, like, Final Fantasy 10-2, or Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, or Final Fantasy 13-2. So you can start with any Final Fantasy. I think a good one to start with. I know 10 is not my favorite, but I know it is a most beloved, one of the more beloved Final Fantasies. Which one would I say you should start with? 6 is my personal favorite, but I wouldn't start with it. When you hit like 1 through 6 are very old. They're all pixely and things of that nature. They were on the NES and the Super NES and Game Boy. so they're old. And they're you can get some of them on Steam that have been quote unquote remastered, but they're not really, because Square Enix doesn't do good remasters. 3 and 4 had Nintendo DS remakes, which I don't think are too bad. They're very cute. You know, 7's the classic. Everyone's heard of 7. I would say 10 would be a good one to start with. Which one did I start with? I started with Final Fantasy 1 on the NES. I was just a little baby. Yeah, so I wasn't very good at it, but I would watch my mom and dad play. It's actually a funny story. My mom and dad each had their own save file, and my dad accidentally saved over my mom's save file, and she was very, very mad, and they had a big fight over it. She never played again. But yeah, that was that's like saying though, like, oh, that Mario was my first Mario on the NES, Mario Brothers 3, and I would just get all the whistles and go to World 8 and be like, well, don't know what I'm gonna do here. Yeah, my mom used to play a lot of video games. She and I would play like Sonic Adventure Battle, or not Sonic Adventure Battle, Sonic 2, the multiplayer one. And I would be Tails and she would be Sonic, and we would play the same 4 levels over and over again, because that's all there was. And she was a big Zelda fan, and she would do all the puzzles in Zelda, and my stepdad would do all the combat stuff. And then my actual dad was a big Final Fantasy fan and a big Wild Arms fan. So I would watch him play a lot of video games. When I was too young, didn't understand it. So, God, I wish Wild Arms was available on the on Steam or something. It's one of my favorite game series. I had to beg my dad to buy a memory card when the PlayStation 1 came out. I was like, Dad, please, you cannot save without a memory card. And he was so... Wild Arms 1 on the PS1. I would, like, beg him. I was like, Dad, it doesn't work the way it used to. You have to buy a memory card. You gotta. He's so stubborn. He's like, we'll just start over. And I'm like, no, Dad. These games are huge. Eventually he learned. But yeah. So you can start with any Final Fantasy. My colleagues and I are ill-suited for negotiating such deadly hazards. Thus, if we are to gain access to the tower secrets, we must needs employ the services of an experienced adventurer. It was. Playing video games with my dad was always fun. It will be difficult and dangerous, Akali, but I can think of no finer woman for the task. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had a taste for these deadly escapades. I look forward to working with you again. This is much and more to be done before we can begin the expedition proper. Take some time to prepare yourself, and I shall explain the challenges that lie ahead. Our first objective is to reach the entrance of the Crystal Tower. As I previously mentioned, however, that will prove no easy task. The entrance is guarded by powerful defense mechanisms, and each utilizing one of our 4 elements of water, fire, wind, or earth. Anyone attempting to simply stroll past these unsleeping sentinels invites swift obliteration. Based on Master Garland's analysis, however, we are reasonably certain that the attacks of these lethal contraptions can be reflected using a crystal of the corresponding element. Naturally, these crystals must be of surpassing clarity, free of the slightest impurities, much like the flawless specimens used by the beastmen in their primal summoning rituals. Maybe I should have said exactly like. The specimens they use. Were there any other way, we would not ask this of you, but we need someone to enter the Beast Tribe's strongholds and liberate their perfect crystals. For the moment, I would have you focus on obtaining 2 of the 4 crystals we require. Pray make for Lanosia, where both the Sapsa spawning grounds and the Ungor mines are located. You may be certain that the materials used in the Beastmen's sacred rituals will be well defended. Whether you choose to venture there alone or with companions, I shall leave it to your discretion, but whatever you do, please be careful. Yeah, it's a busy day in Final Fantasy. Oh, I almost abandoned it. There we go. It's my Final Fantasy is my stealth stream. It's very quiet, but I usually get a lot of people just peeking and hanging out. A pet dragon? This is a phoenix, sort of. No, don't mind me. I'm just minding my own birdness. I hate being in here. Oh no, it was right there. Neat. It's kind of a phoenix. We'll see a better phoenix someday. It's just a big bird. We do get dragons, though. There will be dragons. Yeah, I actually haven't pulled out any of my pets in a while. Oops. There it is. Oh, I do. I have 2 cats, which are Kafka and Tamasi. We call her Tama for short. And then I have a bunny. His name is Jareth the Bunny King. And I just recently got some fish. So I have 4 Cory cats and 2 platies, red-tailed Dalmatian platies, and I have 4 snails. And I'm looking to get some coolie loaches and a beta eventually. Yeah. Oh, well. It's easy because I do work from home. So there's lots of time to give everybody the attention that they need. The cats are pretty self-sufficient. I have a heavily planted tank. Yeah. I'm sure lots of pets have loved quarantine. Back to Mordona, I think it is. Yeah, cats are very good at taking care of themselves, and when they want attention, they will let you know. And when they don't, they will also let you know. The rabbit is also very self-sufficient. You know, he uses his own little litter box. He's not always super into attention, so... And my rabbit is really good about what he eats. He's very he keeps a very balanced diet. So even when you give him like a lot of veggies and stuff, and even fruits, he eats it sparingly. In between like his kibs and his kibbles and his alfalfa. So dogs are a lot of work. How progress your efforts in infiltrating the Beastman's strongholds? I got them crystals. So these are the famed flawless crystals of the beast tribes. I have seen countless specimens from I know not how many excavations, but nothing to compare to these. Their purity is astounding. You have done well, Akali. With these in our possession, we lack only the crystals of fire and wind. The former lies in Zaharak, the war camp of the Omaljan, Thanalan. The latter in Naltan, the root of the Ixali in the hills of Korthus. You can expect them to be as closely guarded as the first two, if not more so. Still, I look forward to the receiving word of your resounding success. It would be a little difficult, I agree. Let's do Thanalan first. Dogs are also tough because, so like, in the before times, I used to do a lot of conventions, of various sorts, and, we can leave the cats and the rabbits, and even the fish alone for a weekend. That's no problem. But you can't leave a dog alone for the weekend. You gotta figure something out. Our cats are grazers. So when we put down a bowl of food, they don't eat it all in one sitting. They eat a cup of food throughout the entire day. And we just have to fill it once a day. So what we would do, what we did when we went to conventions and stuff is, we left a bigger bowl out with, 3 days worth of food, and they would just slowly go through the 3 days. And then we would leave out a couple bowls of water, so that they wouldn't run out. But if they did gobble down everything that they had in one sitting, I would invest in like a food dispenser that releases food every so often. That's what you do for kitties. But yeah, our cats are very good. The only thing they gobble down is wet food. That's gone, well, if it's the first time they've had wet food in a while, they'll gobble it down. But if it, my one cat had to go on a soft food diet for about a week, I think it was. And after like day 4 of wet food, it was very old news. And so they went back to grazing. Bunny too is a grazer, so he is definitely fine. He goes through water very quickly, but I have refillable water containers, and I have actually an extra one for him if we ever are gone for a long period of time. And then he will be... I can't leave over the fort. There we go. So he'll be fine if I'm ever gone. Ooh! Pets are very good. Even fishies, I have learned, have a lot of personality to them, and are excited when you walk up to the tank. And I have these 2 little platies that they'll swim right up when they see me. They're definitely expecting me to feed them, but they recognize you and are glad to see you, and it's very precious. The rabbit is like that. He'll run up to the pen and get on his hind legs to see me, and like, I know mice are like that, and oh, it just warms my heart. I love animal good. Akali, it is good to see you. Tell me, were you able to obtain the remaining crystals from the beastman? I got your rocks right here. Wonderful. With all 4 crystals in hand, we are now ready to proceed to the next stage of our preparations. I hope I did not give you the impression that we would be embarking on our journey to the Crystal Tower just yet. Alas, there is another step which must be completed ere we come to that. While the crystals you acquired are indeed flawless, they are of little use to us in their present form. If they are to reflect the elemental forces of the tower's defenses, they must needs be cut and polished. Oh, yeah, the direwolves. I wanted a direwolf too. A process which calls for a very particular set of materials. Procuring them will be a challenge in itself, I fear. Needless to say, we'll be requiring your services once again. Ramboros wishes to proceed with the shaping of the flawless crystals. If the flawless crystals you procured for us are to retain their elemental purity during the shaping process, a very specific set of substances will be required. When I say substances, but one might just as well call them substance, namely aether sand, which has 4 elementally inspired varieties. Alas, aether sand is neither common nor cheap. Indeed, it is not unusual for the abrasive to exceed the value of the precious stones it was used to polish. Given the rarity of the materials in question, the Goldsmith Guild in Ul'dah seemed the likeliest place to purchase the quantity required. When I contacted the guildmaster, however, I was informed that no aether sand was currently available, though I requested that word be sent as soon as new stock came in. I have yet to receive aught but apologies. I should mention at this point, I placed the order sometime before you procured the flawless crystals. I am well aware that acquiring aether sand is no small feat, of course, and I'm not an impatient man, but I fear the more we delay our investigation, the greater the risk of the tower's secrets may fall into the hands of others, less savory parties. That's why I wish to entrust you with the payment for our purchase, and send you to speak directly with Guildmaster Serendipity. Mayhap the presence of such a distinguished patronage will spur the guild into action. And in any event, it is my hope that when we next meet, you will have found at least one of the 4 varieties of aether sand we require. So, those crystals that I just got, you used to have to do a fate for them, which is fine. But those fates, they're not there all the time. They go away, and you would have to wait, and wait, and wait. No, yeah, absolutely not. It's a fine idea, but it's not practical. Mistress Yana, welcome, welcome. What brings you here, if I may ask? You're here on behalf of the Sons of St. Koenig? What fortunate timing! I was just about to contact Master Ramboros with the news that we finally managed to acquire a quantity of fire-aspected aether sand. I'm afraid it may be some time before we can supply the other 3 varieties, but you are welcome to settle accounts for which we have now. Pray speak with Jemine over the... I do beg your pardon. It seems she's assisting another customer. Come on, there must be something you can do. Without that sand, we'll have to rethink our whole design. I sympathize with your plight, sir, but as I explained, the aether sand in question is already spoken for. If you'd like to reserve the next shipment, then I would be happy to accept the funds you've offered as partial payment. Partial? Are you saying it's not good enough? I'm already stretching our research budget as it is. I suppose a man can do without a midday meal for a year or 2. Akali, it's been too long. What brings you here then? Got your eye on something expensive, have you? I'm doing my best. Well now, that is quite the money pouch. The sound of so many gil clinging together is strangely satisfying, is it not? Calming and yet invigorating at the same time. Oh no, you're here for the blooming aether sand, aren't you? Well, I can't deny the Allagan civilization's a subject worth researching. The chief said he was looking into something big, but we never thought to ask him what. Wedge and I have been too busy tinkering with a new airship design to think of much else, see? Well, I say tinkering. Wrestling would be more like it. Still, after much wringing of hands and gnashing of teeth, we've managed to put together a prototype crystal-powdered propulsion system. We got the idea for it when we heard how you lot had used a corruption crystal on board the Enterprise. As a matter of fact, anyway, to cut a long story short, our design calls for all 4 varieties of aether sand. And that's why I can't just relinquish my claim on this batch here, even for you, lass. How are we meant to usher in a brave new age of technological innovation, if not by technologically innovating, eh? Ahem. While I hesitate to interrupt such an impassioned speech, duty compels me to point out that this lady is a representative of the organization that reserved the aether sand in question, to mention nothing of the fact that her purse is considerably larger than yours. Sometimes. Oh, it's like that, is it? Alright. This batch is yours. I'll let you have it. But if you're going to take my sand, it's only fair that you grant me a role in this project of yours. I'll take that as a yes. It's not every day you get a chance to experiment with the wonders of the ancients. With any luck, they'll inspire me to think up another technological innovation or 2. Now then, from what you've told me, I'm guessing you'll be needing another 3 varieties of elementally aspected aether sand as well, right? Rather than sitting on your rump waiting for a shipment that may never come, I reckon your time would be better spent looking for the stuff yourself. And it just so happens that I know a good place to start. There is said to be a peddler in northern Thanalan who, very occasionally, handles the earth-aspected variety of aether sand. Wedge is in the process of confirming the rumor as we speak. I know what you're thinking. Why did my timid little friend decide he didn't need me to hold his hand anymore? The answer being, just the other day, seems he's been inspired by a certain adventurer's heroic example. I thought he was joking when he volunteered to go to Thanalan without me. I just hope he manages to stay out of trouble. Head to Blue Fog, and you should find him poking about with his new bodyguard. Oh, did I not mention her? Wedge thought it might be wise to hire an adventurer to accompany him, just in case your heroic example turned out to be less inspiring than he first thought. Heh. Save your greetings. If you're looking for a higher blade, then you'll have to look elsewhere. After the day I've had, the only company I crave is the squat silent type. The type that has a handle and holds no less than a pint of ale. Huh? You wish to hear my tale? I warn you, 'tis no stirring epic, but as you asked, my employer, a Lalafin lad, wished to pay a visit to a peddler who deals in some manner of special sand. I forget what it was called, but 'tis apparently worth a small fortune. Anyway, when we arrived, the man claimed his stock had been stolen by bandits. Determined not to return empty-handed, we crept into the bandit stronghold and set about locating the stolen goods. Long story short, alarms were raised and rogues were awoken, and we fled in a blind panic. I was separated from my employer in the confusion, and I have not seen him since. Huh? Oh, he's a friend of yours, is he? Well, then you'd best be prepared for the worst. It's just possible the poor sod may be lost to the old Amalja Mithril mine, but I fear the bandits will have caught up with him by now. Let's see. Oh, going rogue is a very bad idea. I'll just go carefully. Well, there are swords, but I'm a white mage. So I don't use swords. How could I be so stupid? Sneaking into a bandit lair. It's just not the sort of thing I do, and now I'm going to die for it. No, I need to calm down. I can do this. I can be brave. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to walk out of here. Here we go. kill me, I promise I'll leave and I'll never come back. Akali! Is it really you? But how did you find me? Can you smell fear? Actually, ignore that smell. I expect you're wondering why I'm here. Well, I was just in the process of retrieving some stolen aether sand, which Biggs and I need for our research. As it happens, it was, I concede, perhaps a touch foolish and very nearly fatal, but I did succeed in snatching the stuff. Before my bodyguard ran away, and several dozen bandits came piling after me with knives and axes, and one looked very much like a plank with a rusty nail in it. Anyway, the important thing is that the stolen aether sand is right here in my oh dear. It must have fallen out when I was taking evasive maneuvers. It seems I won't be leaving this infernal place for a while yet. You'll find the aether sand in my stead? Oh, thank the gods, you're a true friend, Akali. I hope that search doesn't prove too troublesome. The bandits don't seem to care much for visitors. Yeah, so I'm a white mage, and I only do magic attacks. I mean, I can hit things with my stick, but it's not very effective. Oh, you've all respawned, huh? That's annoying. That's my character's name. No, it's okay. That's her name is right here. It's lore compliant. Akali, have you had any luck locating the aether sand? Yes. Yes, that's it! I must return to the workshop at once and tell Biggs the wonderful news. What's that? You're also on a mission to collect aether sand? And you're working with the chief? A treasure trove of Alagon knowledge, you say? I see. Alright, have a lovely night, and thank you for stopping by. Then you should really be the one to have this. Biggs and I are far from exhausting all possible avenues of airship intervention, but it sounds as if your problem can't be solved by any other means. The expedition of yours sounds jolly interesting, I must say. I'm half inclined to join you. In fact, I think I will. Any venture worth the chief's time must be worth a look. Right, I've done more than ready. I am more than ready to leave this awful place behind, and you should return to Mardona with that aether sand before there are more little mishaps. Be sure to keep a close eye on your pockets, Akali. Let's see. Just didn't seem the right way to go for a second. Ah, Akali, you have returned. I take from your presence that you were successful in procuring us some aether sand. Tell me, which variety did you find? Fire and earth. I see, 2 varieties. Well, that is 2 more than could reasonably be expected, and 2 less than I had hoped, you would say. Forgive my flippancy. You have done well, truly. If all goes to plan, we need no longer fear death by fire or earth. Master Garland, if you would be so kind as to prepare the relevant crystals. I shall set to work immediately. Truth be told, I've been looking forward to this. One does not encounter materials like these every day. Speaking of which, how in the 7 hells did you find them? Mistake me not, old friend. I know only too well how capable you are, but aether sand isn't something you simply find gathering dust in the back of a merchant's rare gem cabinet. You had help from Biggs and Wedge. Trust them to design a revolutionary new engine the moment I turn my back. How's a genius meant to rest on his laurels when his employees are so damnably inventive, eh? And now they're determined to join us, are they? Typical. I jest, of course. It will be good to have them around. Still, as a matter of professional pride, let's endeavor to procure 2 remaining varieties of aether sand before they arrive, shall we? Tell me, Rembroris, have we any information on where water and wind aspected types might be hiding? Not as of yet, but I've made certain arrangements. We shall soon see if my efforts have borne fruit. Forgive me for observing, but you seem less than enthusiastic about that prospect. Is there a complication? I'd rather we discuss it now than risk jeopardizing the expedition. Perhaps an explanation is in order, but first, let us savor the preliminary victory that Akali has won for our cause, if only for a moment. Oh no! My pockets are too full. I'm gonna put that in here. It's gonna make me do it all over again. Rembauer's wishes to discuss the procurement of the outstanding varieties of aether sand. Yes, I must speak of arrangements. I made to acquire the 2 remaining varieties of aether sand. Some days ago, I asked a Charlene acquaintance of mine to travel to Gridania, and there gather the necessary materials. Since that time, however, I have heard nary a whisper from him. To be frank, this lack of communication is not entirely uncharacteristic, but I cannot discount the possibility that something ill has befallen the man. Alas, we do not have time to investigate this fate. As I have mentioned before, the more we delay our expedition, the more likely it is that the Crystal Tower's secrets will fall into the wrong hands. Therefore, I would entrust you to seek out the same mission I assigned to my friend. Travel to the Black Shroud and seek out Presimrant, the master of the markets in Gridania. If anyone knows where aether sand might be bought, it is he. Yes, I'm sorry. Did you say you wish to purchase aether sand? Forgive me, madam, but have you the faintest idea of the rarity of the material you seek? Why, I have not so much seen as a grain of aether sand in these markets for many a long year. I could tell you where one might mine the ore from which the water aspected variety of the abrasive is derived, but only a desperate fool would willingly set foot in a place. You seem undeterred. Very well. Are you familiar with Earth's Gift? That is where the ore is to be found, in an area inhabited by a particularly pernicious hog. Should you encounter the Betusk Nightmare, you will know that you are in the right place, albeit at the wrong time. Farewell. You are too late, adventurer, and not only for the entertainment. You will find no trace of the ore, which but recently lay here. Nay, not so much as a speck. No, you will never spy me from there. For the time being, at least, you will have to trust the evidence of your ears. Now stop squinting at the foliage and listen. As I told you, the water-based mineral you hoped to find is gone, taken by me. Victory has made me magnanimous, however. Accordingly, I have decided to share the location of an alternative source of aether sand with you, the wind-touch variety to be specific. I trust I have your attention? Good. A band of Ixal in the North Shroud keeps a quantity of the abrasive for the purpose of removing impurities from lesser crystals. Well, do you mean to delay here all day? Make haste, adventurer, before I snatch another prize from under your nose. This is to be a race. The Ixal lodging grounds to the North Shroud shall be our destination, and that is where the real amusement will begin. May the best man win. Ugh, it's in the North Shroud. Bravo! That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of aether sand slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations. The wind-touched abrasive is yours, and yet, having been treated to such a memorable performance, I cannot help but feel the greater prize is mine. The inquiquity it must not stand. I insist that you accept a token of my appreciation. Payment for this entertainment will be waiting for you to the east, in a clearing within Proud Creek. Pray retrieve the gift ere it is crushed beneath the iron feet of the Doolahans. Excuse me there. Aw, beans. Oh, it missed! Ugh. Not what you were expecting. I took the liberty of refining the ore from Earth's gift into aether sand. Do keep it safe, adventurer. Lest you accuse me of playing games, you should know that the thought of relinquishing my prize never once crossed my mind, until I saw you in action. Such deeds must needs be rewarded. It is my vocation, you see, to record history as it may be made by mortal men, and I much prefer to chronicle the accomplishments of the bold and the mighty. Thus it is my fervent wish that you continue your career with the same courage and zeal you have shown today. We shall meet again, adventurer, and sooner than you may imagine. Ah. pretty it is out here at night. What news of your mission? Are we any closer to acquiring the remaining abrasives? You've brought both. I shall have Master Garland begin work on the crystals immediately. I will take money, please. There. That should do the trick. Excellent work! We now possess all 4 fangs required to pierce the Crystal Tower's defenses. My compliments, Master Garland. It was a trifling matter, I assure you. A colleague here is the one you should be thanking. Anyway, by my reckoning, there's nothing stopping us from striding up to the Allagon's front door. You can't go without us, Chief! Biggs Wedge, come to lend a hand, have you? Well, it's not every day you get the chance to study the wonders of the Allagon Empire, is it? Technology makes Garlemons look ancient. I appreciate your enthusiasm, Lance. I really do. But we're not here to take this knowledge for ourselves. Twice in the last decade, the promise of unimaginable power has prompted men to meddle with technology they do not understand, and the realm has been dragged into the very brink of oblivion on both occasions. We shall not be so irresponsible as to risk another. Wedge, you recall our company's creed? Yes, Chief, it's, freedom through technology. Exactly, freedom. When we forsook our homeland, we swore that we wouldn't have no truck with machines that could be used to promote tyranny. That has not changed. Should you feel tempted to break your oath, remember this. The wonders of the all-knowing Allagon Empire could not save their civilization, and have damn near doomed ours twice. That is why we must explore the Crystal Tower, and if needs be, seal away its secrets. A compelling viewpoint. It is unyielding will such as yours that have defined the course of history. So you return at last. What, pray tell, has kept you so wholly preoccupied that you could not spare a moment to inform me of your progress or preservation? Why, the task you assigned to me, of course. Surely you could not have forgotten about the eighth ascent. I tasked a passing adventurer with delivering it. A more capable courier I could not imagine. Greetings, adventurer. Did I not say we would meet again? I believe an introduction is in order. I am Grahatia, one of the students of Beldesian. I look forward to joining you on your groundbreaking expedition. Grahatia has been assigned to the project as an observer. I hope you will forgive him his eccentricities and welcome him as one of our own. So then, our fellowship is complete, and now all stand ready to step into the unknown. 3 cheers for Noah! Noah? That's the name I have chosen for our little collective. Given our differing backgrounds, we cannot very well call ourselves the Sons of St. Konik, can we? And we must have a memorable application for our venture to leave its mark on the annals of history. I would claim that NOAA stands for Nominated Observers of Artifacts Historical, and so it does, technically, but my true reason for choosing the name stems from the fact that it is shared by a vaunted Allagon Archmagus. An Archmagus! I like the sound of that! Well, very well. Now that that pressing matter of what to call ourselves has been settled, it is time we set forth to brave the outer defenses of the Crystal Tower. Is everyone ready to depart? Ready! Tia is eager to begin the expedition to the Crystal Tower. Esteemed colleagues, the secrets of ancient Alec beckon. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, adventurer. You and I will join the engineers at the Crystal Tower's main gateway, where we will endeavor to neutralize the structure's outer defenses. Hi, hi! Ramboras, meanwhile, will remain here and oversee the operation. Given my knowledge of Alagon history, it seems logical that I shall lead the expedition itself, though I admit the role does not exactly befit my status as an observer. Still, we can make use of one resource at hand. Assuming all are in agreement, let us proceed forthwith to the large, lopsided gate found at the southeast. Hello, hello. How are you this evening? These guys are going to start problems. The Crystal Tower lies beyond this portal. Now comes the interesting part. Sid, you are the only one of our number who has ever crossed this threshold. I ask that you take the lead for the present. Oh, of course. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a good sleep. I say, the energy radiating from these statues is palpable. Lucky for us that it is. One might otherwise stroll past them. Feast your eyes on the elemental defenses which prompted our lengthy preparations. These sentinels prevent would-be intruders from advancing to within 20 miles of the tower's inner reaches. No matter how swift they may be. And to you as well. Happily, the crystal fangs we took such pains to craft should spare us the inconvenience of instantaneous annihilation. Here, allow me to demonstrate. Chief, it's too dangerous to allow anyone else to risk his life testing one? Quite right. I made the damn things. It's my job to see that they work. Success! I, for one, am convinced. Friends, ready your fangs. Thank you. I am just doing the first part of it today. I'm trying to do things in patch order. So this came out with 2.1. Then I will hop back to 2.2 patch. This last one is yours, old friend. It seemed only right. Oh, no. I have this game. I bought it all. We did it. So much for the outer defenses. Indeed, the entrance to the tower is near at hand. My blood fairly sings with anticipation. Speaking of blood, I have a proposal for the next stage of the expedition. I suggest we wait here, while Akali and a hand-picked party of her adventuring companions enter the tower. What? Without us? I thought we came here to survey the entire structure. We did, and we will, but our investigations must proceed at a more measured pace. If the outside of this place is well defended, can you imagine what awaits on the inside? Only a true hero could reasonably hope to brave the hazards ahead and live to tell the tale. Akali here fits the description better than anyone I know. And it is not as if we shall be idle in her absence. While Akali and her companions are risking life and limb to beat us a path to the tower, we can set about analyzing this rubble for evidence of how its technologies function. Your knowledge of ancient lore will be invaluable in that endeavor, historian Grahatia. Blah! Do you ever tire of being right, old man? Ahem. Akali, as it seems I won't be accompanying you, allow me at least to provide some instruction. The maze that surrounds the base of the tower is known as the Labyrinth of the Ancients. During this initial foray, I suggest you concentrate on ridding the place of hostile elements. When you are reasonably certain the maze is secure, contact me via link shell and we shall join you post-haste, no matter what Master Garland says. Though we would prefer it if any relics you encounter remained intact, you have leave to do whatever is necessary to secure ingress upon the upper levels of the tower. Fortune go with you, Akali. Yes. Oh, there's nobody to talk to up here. Are all the NPCs down there? No, they all just left. I guess they're exploring. I have so much garbage in my bags. Okay. Let's do the raid. It'll probably be, depending on how long it takes, probably would be one of the last things we do. Oh, yeah. And no worries, no worries. I am familiar with the Labyrinth of the Ancients. Yes, yes, yes. I am trying to go through as much story as possible before Endwalker drops. So there's a lot of little things that I'm trying to get done before moving too far into the patches. Like I wanted to get Ninja sort of out of the way. Not out of the way, but done for special dialogue in 2.2, and I want to do some Dragoon things before patch 5. Or no, it's 2.3 for Ninja and 2.4 for Dragoon. I'm trying to be a good bean and get all that good lore. Because Endwalker is the end of this entire storyline, right? So I want to grab all that juicy information and keep it fresh as we march forward, slowly but surely. I think this is the longest I've ever had to wait in a queue, and I take great offense. Allow me inside. Let me in! Let me in! Well, Well, actually, I'm afraid if I start a conversation, I am going to get whisked away. There we go. I only had to think about leaving to think about doing something else. For the game to be like, hey, oh, hey. Don't do that. Tank. Dunk, please. How could this happen to me? Please. Seems pretty hecked up to destroy these statues. I understand why we did it, but it's pretty hecked up. There we go. I was about to switch to ninja again and try and do some slappies on some enemies, but actually, what is the view out here like? Get out of the way. Oh, it's quite pretty. Is that the Labyrinth of the Ancients? Like past there? Woo! There we go. We finally made it in. Let's see. Oh, I don't like where these are. Why have I done this to myself? How fast can I fix that? Oh god. For right now, that's fine. Nope, don't do that. Whew. People were taking a lot of damage. Bone dragon. Oh god. I melted. That damage happened so fast. Oh no. Yeah. I guess I'll just stay dead. That is okay. Do I get to live now? I'm Benny myself. Goodness gracious. Good fight, everybody. Good fight. We all did our part. I was definitely there. I definitely participated. That key is not actually better. I don't even have that much less health than the Astro. Um... We're doing Labyrinth of the Ancients. It'll probably be the last thing we do. But if it gets done soonish, we can start 2.2. No, I think I'll save 2.2 for tomorrow. Because I'll have to wrangle someone to do coils. 'Cause after 2.2 it's more coils, so I need to wrangle peoples for that. Coils are very hard. Not my pot. I think that level up saved my life because I think I got cleaved. I had someone take me through 1 through 4, so yeah, I have to find someone for, or 1 through 5 technically. I had to I had to use Party Finder, and I was like, please help me. So I'll need to find someone through 6 through 7, or the numbers are weird now. Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6 through 9, which I know are quite difficult, so I might need a few people. Yeah. I was like, I'm baby, please help. I just want story. Yeah. It was tough with Party Finder because I didn't want to waste their time, so I was reading as fast as possible. I was like, ba 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 ba. Oh, tab targeting, please. Oh, it's gone already. Whew. Oh, there he goes. Oh. Oh no. Dun, 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 dun. Aw, beans. Not this time. Oh. Oh. He was got. I don't want any of that. I just can't fit it in my bags. Oh, I got a lot of accommodations for being a big dumb baby. That first one was rough. Ho there, Akali! Very impressive, I must say. Your name shall be writ in large in the volumes that are sure to be penned on this historic expedition. The scale of this structure defies comprehension. Someone plainly thought bigger was better. According to the findings of my Valdesian colleagues, the Crystal Tower was constructed to collect and store the endless energies of the sun, a characteristically ambitious undertaking. Now, what if the tower's inner defenses? Judging by your haggard expression, clearing out the labyrinth was no small feat. A giant of a man wielding a shimmering scimitar, you say? Yes, that will have been Plethyon, not Archeon. Plethyon. He was the hero of the Alagon Revolution. And you gleaned that from what exactly? His choice of weapon? Well, I am a historian, and I have a certain, shall we say, affinity for the lore of the Alagon Empire. It is, of course, all knowledge gleaned from the musty scrolls and tomes. The ancient texts claim that the Crystal Tower is defended by the champions of Eld, resurrected and augmented through the Alagon's extraordinary technology. Chief, you need to see this. Well, well, there it is, the foot of the tower. What surprises do you have in store for us, I wonder? I can't tell you how glad I am to have you with us on this little jaunt, old friend. Had you not beaten a path through the maze, I very much doubt we'd be standing here now. Well, we have much to discuss and digest. Let us retire to St. Konig's Find for the present, and there plan our next step. Lest there be any doubt, our expedition has some way to go yet. Tiramisu coffee? That sounds delicious. Wait. Look at her outfit. She looks so pretty. Here we go. So good of you to join us, Akali. Our meeting would be dull indeed without a full account of your experiences in the labyrinth. Take a moment to collect yourself, and when you are ready, we shall debate on how to best proceed. Grahatia is ready to address the assembled fellowship of Noah. Our fellowship of Noah being accounted for, it is time the assembly was called to order. Ramboros will be presiding over the meeting. If you would be so kind as to inform him of your readiness to proceed. Welcome back, Akali. I have just been reading about your encounter in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. It pleases me greatly to note that you seem none worse for the experience. For your reference, I have added some of my own notes to Graha's preliminary expedition report and begun compiling a Crystal Tower survey log. The information contained therein will be available to you at all times. Should you have any questions, you need only ask. Now, if there are no objections, I shall begin with a summary of the expedition's key accomplishments. In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Akali's account, the Labyrinth's defenses were most empathetically active. Disturbingly, her report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry heavily augmented by Alagon technology. In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by chaotic shifting of Earth, it has somehow been reawoken. If, as seems increasingly likely, the tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we will have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we first need to address the question of how they work, the answer to which must surely be awaiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. A task rather easier said than done, if the perils of the labyrinth are any indication. Then I move that all further exploration to the tower be delayed until such time as exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses have been completed. Master Garland, may I entrust the task to you? It would be my pleasure. Don't forget about us! It's as you said, Chief, we founded the Ironworks to make sure that the technology was used for the right reasons, and that means making sure it's not used for the wrong ones. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end. Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand, then. So I shall take my leave of you for the present. If I am witness to this valiant tale unfolds with mine own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire. You'll do nothing of the sort, Graha. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation. As an observer, I am not strictly speaking subject to your authority. Pray not to mistake my intent, Akali. I am well aware that I shall never be a match for one of your innate talents, however hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during my coming pause. We will need you fighting fit for our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which has been obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Alagon Empire. And with that encouraging thought in mind, it is time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the tasks at hand, that our expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned. It's our outlandish man. Such a terrible mess, yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So this is the legacy of the Alagon Empire, left behind. If my readings are correct, the energy source waiting atop the tower is a match for even the Ultima weapon. Nay, more than a match. A new toy for me to play with. Nero. I believe the fates that conspired to deny me my just rewards once again, but it would seem that they had a greater destiny in mind for me. I love the Garlean music that's playing. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Cid. Do not disappoint me. Dun 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 dun. Oh, Nero. Okay. So, we only have 15 or so minutes left, and I keep meaning to do a quest line, but we keep running out of time and going overtime. So we're gonna run to Ul'dah really quickly. Oh, frick. I know what we should need to do next. We need to do Hildebrand next. We'll do Hildebrand, we'll do the next part of Hildebrand tomorrow. I'm not personally strong enough to do Hildebrand right this second. I'm not strong enough to do Hildebrand at all. But we will do him tomorrow. We need to go here. Ah, an adventurer, one of my favorite kinds of people. I find your unquenchable thirst for exploration nearly complements the burning hunger for sagacity that marks our dedicated members. Welcome to the Alchemist Guild. Though I hesitate to define alchemy in such narrow terms, our main field of expertise is the concoction of various potions and elixirs. They are salves to treat all manner of afflictions, not to mention miraculous liberations that enhance the imbiber beyond her natural physical limits. As an adventurer, I am sure you can appreciate the and mainly practical applications of our work. What say you, madam? Care to take up mortar and pestle and join our ranks? Yes. Wonderful. Now then, allow me to give you a brief history of the guild before we tackle the official paperwork. Though alchemists are presently known as the quintessential brewers of potions, and profession itself arose from the desire to achieve an as yet unrealized ambition. The original driving purpose behind our art was, and perhaps still is, the discovery of a process that can transform base metals into gold or silver, and the mythical medium thought necessary to effect such a transformation is the Philosopher's Stone, which is itself believed to have Panacean properties and be capable of bestowing eternal life. Though success yet eludes us, years of endless experimentation towards this golden goal have the initially unintentional consequences of unearthing a wealth of knowledge in the field of chemical medicine. Regretfully, alchemy's potential to enrich the lives of the masses was first met with a wave of distrust, as if our ability to create helpful compounds was akin to dabbling in a back-alley witchcraft. The profession eventually gained credibility in Ul'dah through its integration into traditional medicine by Frohlan's Pronotary as an institution known for producing respected physicians. Once the city shift in perception became known, budding alchemists wishing to study without fear of persecution journeyed to Ul'dah from every corner of the realm. It was not long before this gathering of inquisitive minds banded together to form the Alchemist Guild. Thus, while our organization is intensely focused on perfecting and sharing the fruits of our research, it is also paramount importance that we uphold the reputation of alchemy itself in a legitimate discipline. If you would revel in the secrets of our art, then you must be prepared to shoulder the responsibility I have described. Take a moment to dwell on these words before you truly enter the world of alchemy. I've thought about it. Have you arrived at a decision? Are you ready to exalt the arts of alchemy and commit the responsibilities that your enrollment entails? Yes. Excellent! Then allow me to direct you to our guildmaster. Gaining his approval is the last test you must pass before becoming a full member of the guild. You will find Guildmaster Severin tending to his experiments at his personal workbench. I must warn you, he is a rather intense individual. Pray choose your words with care. Out of the way, everyone. I gotta speak to this man. What? What is it this time? Ah, you must be the merchant's lackey. Come to bring me my imp wings. Let's have them then. Huh? Not a lackey. An aspiring alchemist, did you say? Speak up and pray that I heard you awry. Am I an aspiring alchemist? Yes. Did that blabbering fool Drytek send you to me? I specifically requested that I not be disturbed for anything less than the coming of a second calamity. Do I appear as a kindly mentor to you? My research demands my absolute undivided attention. Now be gone before I am forced to... but wait. Perhaps I can... Yes. You may be the very assistant I require. I have had a change of heart. Congratulations. I approve your application to the guild. It is with great pleasure that I welcome a fellow seeker of knowledge into the fold. We can dispense with the internal initiation ceremony. Yes, here is your first dumbbell. Try not to drop it, for there is much work to be done. Yes, much work. Thanks, Dad. Okay. My baggies are so full. I'm gonna try and get to level... Well, that's not how I want to do things. I'm gonna try and get to level 5. And then... I will call it. I would like to sort. Yes, thank you. Chocobo... No, armory chest. And I will swap this staff. There it is. Wait, don't look at her. She'll be naked. There we go. Guildmaster Severin wants you to use the weathered alembic to perform your first alchemic miracle. No, I protected. Nobody saw. I see. You've managed to take hold of the alembic without injuring yourself. An auspicious beginning. Let us see if we can continue this trend of unexpected success. For your first lesson, I want you to use your weathered alembic there and make me a bottle of distilled water. Distilled water is simply the end result of purifying a murkier sample of life's most vital element. As such, it provides the perfect introduction to one of alchemy's most fundamental processes, taking a material and refining it into a purer form. To perform this rudimentary exercise, you shall require a pail of muddy water and a water shard. This impure water can be purchased from the supplier standing near the entrance to the guild. The name momentarily escapes me. Estimate? Yes, that was it. If it happens that you find this basic task beyond your abilities, then mayhap alchemy is not the discipline for you, which would be quite upsetting, as I detest the thought of having to select a new assistant. Try not to disappoint me. Okie dokie. I actually already have water, but that's not going to help us level up, so... you're not who I want to talk to. I need... muddy water. And we're just going to make, like, 20 of these bad boys. Yeah. And then... and I would like to make 19 of these bad boys. Yeah. Look at me go! I try and do this leveling off screen, but this one's gonna be really fast. I always cook and do my shit off screen because this is not riveting. Look at my little block though. His little legs. Wait. There he goes. Oh, the little legs. Yatta! Alright. I love him. Your task is to provide me with 1 bottle of distilled water. Come, come, we are wasting time. Purchase a pail of muddy water from Esseman if you must. No, I got it. I got it. I would never let you down. I had 119 waters. I would never let you down. You want water? I got water for days. Magnificent! Your transformation into an alchemist has begun. Do you understand the liquid treasure you have made? Yes, it is simply water, but now possessed of an almost limited potential. It is a properly distilled state. Water provides the base ingredient for all manner of wondrous connotations. Or concoctions, as that word really said. On the other hand, a potion created with impure water is not likely to have the desired effect, and it may very well poison the imbiber. Look well upon the substance you have refined. See how crystal clear it has become? Not the most favorable of libations, but still refreshing to pour over one's head in a stifling summer afternoon. Tell me, how did it feel in the instant of its purification? Such a fine result must have sent thrills of excited satisfaction down your spine. Yes, I know well that sensation. To glean a pristine drop from filthy swill, it is a miracle born of mortal artifice. Nothing can compare that to the rush of triumph in the moment when physical laws bend to one's will. Nothing. The greater your mastery of alchemy, the more ecstatic the feeling becomes. Go fill your chambers with bottles of distilled water and revel in each success. I will return now to my experiments. When next you disturb me, I shall expect your skills to be worthy of a guildmaster's chosen assistant. Do you want more muddy water? I didn't, but thank you. I am ready. It appears that Guildmaster Severin has all but forgotten your existence. What? What is it now? Gill for the poor? Another cursed love filter? Ah, you're that wretch that insists on dusting my bench, aren't you? Oh, no? Then who? Oh, we just talked 5 seconds ago, man. Oh, my new assistant. No, do not bother me with more names. My mind shall not be cluttered with trivial details unrelated to a chemical process. I trust you have busied yourself with the mastery of your discipline. I have scant moments to spare on lessons, but I suppose I must invest a modicum of time in your training if you are to be of any use to me. Let us move on to the second fundamental principle of alchemy. Your understanding of this principle will be best facilitated by creating 3 bottles of antidote. Shit, I think I sold all my antidotes. I think they are in my retainer, being sold, if they have not sold already. For this task, you must needs acquire a stipulated number of grass vipers as well as a chunk of rock salt. I believe the guild often has poisonous snakes in stock, so you need only purchase for them. That supplier less. Ah yes, Estimate. As for the rock salt, I believe she can supply that too, and for a reasonable price. I suggest seeing her for all your simple ingredient needs, unless you fancy the idea of scrambling in the sand to find them yourself. In any case, I am not terribly concerned with how you procure the materials. What is most important is that you experience this fundamental principle firsthand. As you concoct 3 bottles of antidote, return to me with the bliss of the knowledge stamped upon your features. I definitely sold those antidotes. I just need 1 grass viper. Thank you. Oh, I have to make it. I was like, pay attention to me, sir. I've done it. Have you completed the 3 bottles of antidote as I asked? God's help you if you've interrupted me for anything less. Here you go, man. Stop yelling at me. Aha, an excellent result. My precarious prestige. I see you, or that did not say prestige. It says protege. I'm gonna take a sip of my drink and try and read. An excellent result, my precarious protege. I see that you have attained the optimum viscosity without clouding the crimson hue. It will be most interesting to see how well these mixtures perform on live test subjects. Well, of course they'll be poisoned. How else would I gauge the efficiency of your work? But never mind that. Have you learned on the second alchemical principle? Have you produced a helpful compound by combining otherwise mundane or lethally harmful substances? Has that not expanded your awareness of what is attainable with this profession? Just as it is possible for a medicine to act as a poison in sufficient amounts, so is it possible for a poison to be utilized as a cure. Your successful creation of these antidotes is evidence of this very fact. Those without a knowledge of alchemy would spare not a second glance from the venomous viper, but mix its venom with the appropriate amount of rock salt and people will flock to your door to purchase your miraculous remedy. Study, experiment, and revel worth in the most unexpected of places. The desire for sustenance and rest will become as minor as annoyances once you have learned the joy of such discoveries. It is time you added this amateur's mortar to your repertoire of alchemical devices. The mortar is often referred to as a secondary tool, but used in conjunction with a primary tool such as an alchemic, you will soon come to appreciate the value of its work. I foresee much practical use for your growing skills, my eager apprentice. Now, run along and find a use for your new toy. I have further research to conduct. Yes. Okay, most excellent. So, good God, I have no idea where I left that miserable man, Hildebrand. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying really hard. We spoke with a newspaper girl. I'll find him. I'll find him before tomorrow's stream. But we'll be doing Hildebrand, the second part of Hildebrand, and patch 2.2 tomorrow. Thank you so very, very much for being here. I will be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST with more Final Fantasy XIV. If you are looking for more of me and what I do, you can find those all on my About page, linked below. There you will find my Discord, my YouTube, and my Twitter, where all my updates, previous videos, and just shenanigans happen. Also linked below is everyone who has helped make this stream possible, and so I thank them very much, and I thank all of you for being here. I also thank for the raid today and all the new followers. I appreciate it so very, very much. But I must go. I wish you all a very lovely evening, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Goodbye!